All right, good morning. It is morning for you. It is about, well, it's still morning for me for another 8 minutes. It's 11:52 a.m. I have a new microphone. I dropped the camera and everything the other day on the floor. It landed on the receiver slash sender part of the external microphone, and that was the end of it. So today I'm going to make some chicken, almost like chicken gravy over mashed potatoes. So I haven't done much filming in the last 2 weeks because, and there's another video that explains it, but things did not go well. And that is kind of an understatement. I was looking at the very real possibility of being homeless or living out of a regular standard car. And I don't own a car, folks. I would have to go get one for that purpose. So it wasn't a good scenario. I pretty much don't have much in the way of food other than what I get from the food pantry, which is another reason why some videos just haven't gone out. I'm not sure how interesting it is to watch me make cornmeal porridge and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, which is all I ate for like 2 weeks, aside from more hamburger helper. So I think I made a few grilled cheese sandwiches, right? So none of that is particularly interesting. I'm not sure how interesting this is, but this is what I'm making for lunch. And I tell you, folks, I've never come so close to being homeless in my life. I've always been poor. Normally I can afford everything I need. I can't afford extras. And by extras, I mean things like clothing. I'm doing a yard sale at the same time I'm making this food, so I thought I heard a car door slam, and I might have, but they're not at my house. I didn't see any cars around the house. So what I mean by extras is, I can buy food, the basics, no snack, nothing fancy. Certainly no cakes and things like that, at least not very much of it. But I can afford food, my bills, toiletries, within reason. But I can't afford things like clothes, underwear. If something breaks, I'm not going to be able to fix that. All I can afford is the basics. But I've always mostly been able to afford that stuff. So I'm going to break in here real quick and tell you what the basics are. I did a really terrible job in this video telling you what the basics are. And the basics are food, except as you all know, right now I can't even afford food. So food is now a luxury, and I get my food from the food pantry. Another luxury is clothing. Clothing is a luxury. Shoes. Shoes are a luxury. I've been trying for 6 months to get a pair of shoes. But they're $50. It's going to take me, if I could save $1 a week, it would take me 50 weeks to get a new pair of shoes. It just is what it is. Underwear is a luxury. Bras are a luxury. Sometimes shampoo is a luxury. Sometimes I just have to buy a big bottle of hand soap, and that's everything, dude. Or a big bottle of dish soap. Usually I buy dish soap because I want my dishes clean. And then I use the dish soap for everything else. I use it for shampoo, for hand soap, for cleaning the counters, for laundry soap. Sometimes soaps are a luxury if I can just afford one soap. That's the basics. A haircut. I've been trying to get a haircut for months. For months, folks. I thought in February for sure, because it was such a slamming month, I thought for sure I'd be able to get a haircut in February. Nope. The Gimme Greedies got it all. They got it all. I couldn't believe it. There was no money whatsoever left over for me to get a haircut. So haircuts are luxuries. Razors are luxuries. Like if I wanted to shave certain parts of my anatomy, razors are a luxury. I cannot do that. Razors are a luxury. You know, these glasses are a luxury these days. I got these when I still had a car. In order to replace these, it's not that the glasses aren't free with my insurance. They certainly are. But it would be $200 in Uber rides or taxi rides or whatever to go get them. Because I would need to hire a car to go to the eye doctor, hire a car to get back, and they never have your glasses done that day. So I would have to hire another car to go get the glasses and another car to come back home. So glasses are a luxury. Stuff like this, I don't even think about stuff like this. This is a face cream. Now, I got this from Amazon Vine, but this isn't even something that I would buy. It's not even a consideration for buying. Okay? So this isn't a luxury. This is, you know, this is a Richie Rich product. This isn't the lotion I like. This is essential because I can't move my hands. I have I don't know how you describe it as skin arthritis in the winter. But the skin on my hands gets so tight I can't move my hands. And then they crack real bad. They were cracked real bad yesterday. Yeah, you can see them there. They're cracked real bad. So I have to have lotion. And I'm going to tell you, the generic Caress, it's better than nothing, but it's awful. You know, that's a luxury. Pens are a luxury. Paper is a luxury. You could even say that the camera equipment and stuff that I've recently bought, that stuff became business essential. But essentially, it's also a luxury. It's not a basic. What else? Cookies, chips, snacks, things like that. I have to make my snacks most of the time. Now, I do buy the granola bars when they're on sale at CVS, but snacks and things like that, that's all luxury. In fact, going to the grocery store and buying food, that is now a luxury for me. You know, so I'm not going to buy clothes. I'm not going to buy jewelry. I make my own jewelry, but I'm not going to buy clothes. Not going to buy jewelry. Not going to buy hair dye. Not going to get a haircut. Not going to buy blankets, pillows, towels. And I desperately need new towels. Oh my God. But, you know, all of that is a luxury. If it is not a bill, there it is, folks. That's what it is. If it is not a bill or toilet paper or soap, it is a luxury. All right, so that's how I wanted to clarify that. I just wanted to let you know what a luxury is, because you probably think, you know, stopping at Dairy Queen and getting an ice cream cone after going out to eat is a luxury. The truth is, all of that's a luxury, including driving the car to that type of thing. And that's how it is. Even when I had a car, I had to plan when I would go out, because I only had $20 for gas for the month. So I got to go do everything. You know, I think $20 got me to the store 3 to 4 times a month, and that was it. I could do that route 4 times. And everything I needed, I had to get on that route. Even driving to the state park, that's a luxury. So anyway, all right. So I just wanted to clarify that point. Let's get back to the video. The scenario that I was looking at was that I was going to be able to pay my lot rent, water bill, and trash bill here, and nothing else. That was the scenario that I was looking at. And there's no way that's a winnable scenario. And it was going to happen quick. Normally I am a month ahead on rent, and it's just because this private client pays at the front of the month instead of the end of the month. So today is April the 12th, I've got May's rent already. So if this had gone south, I would not have June's rent. Or if I went the other way, let's say I paid June's rent, I wouldn't have rent. I wouldn't have money for anything else. There wouldn't be any money for the electric. There's no money for the gas. And I about had it with the gas company too. They can take their greed and shove it up their tail ends. I am so sick and tired of it. It's just, I almost let them turn off the gas this month. That's how fed up with them I am. We want another $165. So we're going to turn off your gas. You know what? I almost told them to do it. I'm just so tired of their greed. But things worked out and I ended up paying the gas bill. But every time I pay that bill, it incites a deep rage within me. Because I know I'm getting overcharged by at least 3 times what it should be. And companies want your last dime, and they finally got it, folks. I was looking at a scenario where these greedy fucking companies finally got my last dime. I have no solution. They've got it all. They got all my money. Luckily, by the grace of God or the universe or whatever you want to say, I am not going to see an income hit this month. Now, what do I know about the rest of the summer? I don't know anything about it. Because the guy was very uncertain about how this was going to go moving forward. And even though I got the good news and everything's going to be fine right now, I still decided to do a yard sale this weekend, and maybe I'll take you outside to look at it here in a minute. But I don't know what I think about anything anymore. So I don't know. Like I said, I've never had a scenario where I couldn't at least meet my basic expenses. And as you guys all know, I started going to the food pantry because I can't pay any extra bills. And this includes the money that runs my website for the web hosting and the tax bill on this awful, awful house. So I started going to the food pantry because that's where that money was going to come from, and I needed that money by December. At no point in any scenario did I think that in April I would still be going to the food pantry. Normally the work has picked up, and I have some good news on a couple of fronts. I've been added to a new list of authors on one website that I do, and I did get the pay raise from my private client, which is great. So, and I got accepted to the Amazon Vine program, which means I can replace the stuff that I've had for 100 years. There's my new dish rack. I can replace stuff that I haven't been able to replace in 10, 15 years. That much is good. And there'll be a channel on that too. There are things going right, but that one big going wrong. I was about to be done financially. And then, right as all of this horribleness is going on, somebody else pipes up complaining. You know what they're complaining about, folks? They've lost some of their fun money. Meaning, they can't go to the water park or the swimming pool or whatever the hell it is recreationally that they want to do. Oh no, you've lost some of your fun money. Man, let me play the world's tiniest violin for you. Fun money. What the hell is that even like? I mean, what is it like to have, extra money where you can go out? I haven't had that in years. And you want me to have sympathy for that. I don't have any sympathy for it because you still have money to go do fun things. I haven't had money to go do fun things in, I don't know, 8 or 9 years. I mean, pretty much as soon as I started freelancing, I didn't have any money to do anything. My favorite thing to do actually was to go out to eat. That was my favorite thing to do. And I haven't done that in about 6 years. But the world's coming to an end because you don't have your fun. What the fuck is wrong with you? And excuse my language, folks. If you haven't figured it out by now, it's not a channel for kids. And I tell YouTube that, sometimes this channel is not going to be family friendly, and this is one of those videos that it's not going to be family friendly. But yeah, I was just like, really, you don't get to go to the show anymore. You don't get to go out to eat. Oh, I feel so bad for you. It's like, be glad you've been insulated, from all this financial hardship that everyone else is facing so far. And, yeah, I have a tough time having sympathy for that. I mean, oh, you still get to go out to eat with your family? What's that even like? You still get to buy clothing, new clothes every few months? When you need new socks, you can go buy them? What is that even like? I don't even know what that's like anymore. If it weren't for Amazon Bun, I wouldn't have new socks right now. In fact, I'll show them to you. Finally, I can get some clothes if I review those clothes. So here's my socks. Brand new socks right there. And I'll show you what they are. I'll bring you over here. You can see what these socks are. So, here's my new socks. Right there, these are Timberlands. New socks. These are the ones I was wearing. This came from my mom's house. Where's the other one? These are 6 years old. They're destroyed. Came from mom's house. 6 years old. They're destroyed. Came from mom's house. Maybe it was probably one of the wisest decisions I ever made in my life when I said, give me all of mom's textiles, all the clothing, everything. Towels, pillowcases, the sheets, the blankets, I want it all. Because, folks, that's what I've been using for the last 2 years. Because I can't afford that stuff. I can't afford a new blanket. I can't afford a new sheet. And this chicken is fine, so I'm going to put the chicken in right now. I can't afford anything. And people complaining, oh, I don't have any money to go out. Yeah, I don't feel bad for you. I mean, you should be grateful if you can still afford to go out. But complaining because you're having to cut back, that's a lot of us these days. That's a lot of us. A lot of us can't afford even the food we want to eat, let alone being able to go out to eat or being able to go to the show or, some of this other stuff. Just ask yourself, when was the last time you went out and did something that you had to pay for? And I mean beyond, putting gas in the car. When is the last time, you did something more than go for a drive or go to the park or go for a walk? When is the last time you bought new clothes? When's the last time you bought new towels? When's the last time you bought a new blanket or sheet or anything like that? Because for me, folks, it's been years. It's been years. I don't get to buy those things. Anyway, this is going to turn out delicious. You can make cream of chicken soup like this too if you had some onions and that's what I need. Onion powder. Been off on a tangent and forgot to spice my food. Onion powder, garlic powder, a little pepper, maybe a lot of pepper. Pepper, some thyme. I just put a bunch of salt in it, so I think I will skip the celery salt and we'll go with red pepper flakes. But yeah, so needless to say, it's been a couple of weeks, folks. Not a good couple of weeks. Probably, I mean, my memory's not all that short, but it's been a long time since I've had a couple of weeks that were this bad. I ended up, after I got my good news on Tuesday, I think it was April the 8th, I ended up just taking a nap. I haven't really written anything. I did finish an article for a client after the meeting and stuff like that. But I've been taking it easy since then because stress like that will burn you out quick. So it's been rough, folks. It's been rough. And I do want to thank my supporters. Every dime helps. You have to understand, I'm not one of these people that's, trying to buy some luxury something, Every dime that I get from this YouTube channel goes for my basic needs. It goes to buy food. It goes to pay the electric bill. It goes to, pay any extra bills that I happen to somehow incur. I really try not to incur extra bills, but, it goes to pay bills. It goes to buy food. Things like that. And eventually, I'm hoping it'll go to help me get out of here. No one should live in the environment that I live in. Okay? No one. No one's house. No one should have to live with a permanent raccoon infestation. No one should have to live with a toilet that doesn't accept human waste. Yeah, that's right, folks. The sewers in this park are so bad that you can't flush toilet paper down them. And if you have a BM, forget flushing that down the toilet too. You're going to have to go get the plunger. And I have to every time. I have to plunge the toilet after every BM. Because to be quite honest, folks, I am not putting what exits my butt in a trash bag. That's disgusting. Or at least it's a level of disgusting that I'm not going to do. And that's the that's what it is living here. And then, I get people on here sometimes going, well, your house isn't clean. Dude, to be quite honest, the cleanliness of my house is the last thing on my mind. Okay? With everything else that's going on in my life, how clean this house is just doesn't even register most days. Like, this stove needs cleaned again. Am I going to get to it today? Probably not. I got other things I got to do. I'm doing a yard sale along with this, I got to edit some videos because after everything that's gone on over the last couple of weeks, I'm running out of content, folks. Remember how I say I like to be 1 to 2 weeks ahead? Well, I'm not. It's Saturday, and I can tell you this, if I don't get something else up, the content runs out on Monday or Tuesday. So, it's been that kind of stuff. I tell you what, if you understand these scenarios, then thank you. And also, I'm sorry. If you don't understand, be glad that you don't. Okay? Thank God every day that you don't understand the kind of stuff that I've been talking about in this video. Because to be honest, I would not wish what I've just gone through over the last 2 weeks on my worst enemy. Okay? Wouldn't wish it on my best friend, wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Nobody deserves to go through what I've just been through. And that is the truth. I still need to make mashed potatoes, but you're standing on my mashed potato burner. But that's fine. This will need to cool off anyway. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say, folks. It's just been tough. I'm used to a tough life. I mean, that's what it is when you choose to be your own boss, when you choose to work from home as your own business. It is tough. And just for some reason over the last 10 to 12 months, it's gotten tough. And I feel bad for anyone who's going through the same thing, because these companies, I feel like they really do. They have all of our last dimes and they want more, more, more. And they need to quit it. Because they just about got my last dime. Just about got my last dime, folks. All right, this is done. So my chicken gravy is done, or cream of chicken soup. I mean, it's pretty good. Look at all that chicken in there. All right, so I'm going to take this off the fire and let it cool off. And I'm going to get this pan right here, and we're going to put some water in it. I think it's going to be a slow yard sale day today. I saw a couple of cars earlier, but they really didn't stop for long. Making me some instant mashed potatoes now. This cup right here is just about 13 ounces. So, there it is. I'm just going to wait for that to boil. Probably won't take very long. Alright, let's see if it's boiling. Seems like it just about might be. Here's another thing I bought because of the Amazon Vine program. When I was going through all my boxes, I realized I only had one plate. Just this one, folks. I had 4 of these plates. And I had like 20 other miscellaneous plates. Where'd they go? I have no idea. But I only had one plate. And I know some of you are going to be like, oh my God, how do I get in? I don't know. I don't know. Amazon doesn't publish that information. And that's not even all good news, because every item that I get off Amazon Vine is taxed. And nobody quite knows how it's taxed. I'm just going to assume that every dollar is going to be taxed like income, which means I'll pay 10% in taxes on it, 10 to 15%. I mean, I'll still come out ahead, but it's a cost, not really income. Yeah, there it is. It's not really income. It's another expense. It's just less of an expense than the actual item. But at the same time, there's no other way I would be able to get this stuff. You know, this is a brand new fork. I didn't have, all I had for forks was dollar store stuff. And let me show you the difference between this fork and the ones I could afford. Check out that fork. Okay. There we go. Okay, so here's this new fork that I just got, and here's the one from Dollar General. Look at the difference. This one's thicker, this one's longer, this one's heavier. I mean, they both do the job, but... Oh, and that one's coating is wearing off. So, alright, I think lunch is done. Let's put it together. So, here it is. I should really let these mashed potatoes firm up for a minute, so I think that is what I'm going to do. They're still a little too soupy for my liking, so I'm going to let them firm up for a minute. Alright, let's see if these mashed potatoes have firmed up a little bit. Yes, they have. There's some mashed potatoes. And probably don't need butter. And here is my cream of chicken. Soup or gravy or, whatever. Cream of chicken. There we go, folks. Nice, cheap. Every bit of this was supplied by the food pantry. This did not cost me a dime. So anyway, folks, that's the end of this video. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you later. And hopefully my next videos will be a little more cheerful. Have a good one, folks.